Good day, class. Here we'll be treating a particular topic in economics, and that is production possibility curve. Now, when we talk about production possibility curve, it is a diagrammatical representation of two or more products that a country is willing to produce. It is a combination of two or more products that a country is willing to produce. Let us use two products as a case study. That the country wants to produce, let's say, rice and beans. Now, this is the two particular products a country wants to produce. Then, to start up a business, you always require you having a capital to start a business. And a company's capital is, let's say, 100,000. So this country wants to produce these two things with 100,000. Now, what does that mean? It means that if you use the whole of 100,000 naira to produce rice, it means you are not producing beans. You have 100,000, you use 100,000 naira to produce rice, it means you are not producing anything in beans. Now, another person, you might decide to say, okay, let me use 80,000 naira to produce rice. Automatically, you'll be producing beans with what? 20,000. That's correct. If you decide to use 60,000 to produce rice, automatically you are producing beans with how much? Good. 40,000. Okay, we proceed. If you decide to produce rice with 40,000, automatically you are producing beans with what? 60,000. And if you are producing rice with 20,000, it means you are producing beans with 80,000. And if you decide to produce beans with 100,000, it means you are not producing rice. Now, this is a possible arrangement of what a company needs to do to spend 100,000 naira on these two products. Now, where does this topic come from? Curve has to do it with diagram. It means this information needs to be represented on a diagram. And that is what we call production possibility curve. Now, let us imagine this to be the diagram. This space for rice and this space for what? Beans. Now, here is our center of operation. Now, it means that if you use 100,000 naira to produce rice, you use 100,000 naira to produce rice, you are not producing beans, you are producing beans with 0 naira. If you use 80,000 naira to produce rice, it means you are producing beans with 20,000. The diagram goes this way. If you use 60,000 naira to produce rice, it means you are producing beans with what? 40,000. It goes this way. It continues like that with 80,000, with 40,000, with 20,000. Here gives you 60, here gives you 80, with 0, right? Here gives you what? 100. And that gives us what we call a diagram of what? Production possibility curve. Then you can draw it to meet up with your 100. Now, from this curve, what do you denote based on production possibility curve? There are some terminologies that can come out from this information here. And what are the terminology? We are talking about fully utilized. That is fully utilization of resources. And what's the resources here? We're talking about the what? The cash. Cash is what? Fully utilized. or it is what? Underutilized. What is underutilized? We're talking about what? The resources. And we're talking about not visible. Not feasible. What is not feasible? We're talking about what? The resources. Now, what do you mean by fully utilized? Fully utilized here means you have 100,000 naira to start up a business and you spend the whole 100,000 naira. It is fully utilized. Now, how do we know where to place fully utilized on this diagram? Remember, you have 100,000. Now, you spend 100,000 here. 100,000 plus 0 now gives you what? 100,000. It means you spend the whole 100,000 on this angle. So when you have A on this angle, it means A is fully utilized. You spend the whole 100,000. Another point where the money is fully utilized is this next point, this next point, this next point, this next point, and this next point. How are they fully utilized? Because this curve shows the total of this line and this line to give you 100. What do I mean? This is 80. 80 plus 20 produces what? 100. Fully spent. 40 plus 60 gives you 100. Fully spent. 20 plus 80 gives you 100. Fully spent. 0 plus 100 gives you 100. Fully spent. It means it is fully utilized. Now, any point inside this bracket, inside this curve, let me call it, this is E, let me call it, this is EF, let me call this one G, H, I, J, K, L. This point, all these points, they are not up to 100. They are not up to 100. For example, 60 plus 20 is 80. 40 plus 40 is 80. 20 plus 60 is 80. It's not up to 100. It means resources inside this place is underutilized. You did not spend up to that amount. It is underutilized. So point inside the graph, it's called underutilization of resources. Underutilized. That is for fully utilized and underutilized. Fully utilized is always positioned on the what? On the graph. It means that resources are fully utilized. Everything inside this bracket, it means resources are what? Underutilized. Now, what about not visible or not attainable? It means you cannot meet up with that information. The total money you have is what? 100,000. And the expenses you want to spend is 150,000. Then it's outside this graph. So 100,000 plus anything above is outside the graph. J, K, P, Z, anything outside, because you cannot meet up. You have 100,000 and the expenses you want to spend is more than 100,000, or you want to produce something and you don't have machinery to meet up with that target. Then those points outside this bracket, it means that resources, you don't have the money. It is not possible. It is not visible. It is unattainable. You cannot get it. You have 50,000 naira and you want to buy iPhone, name it by yourself. How do you get it? You cannot. It means resources you have is not visible, is not attainable. Then point outside this bracket shows that resources are not utilized, are not visible. Resources are not visible. Now, for those of you that are writing JAM or you are writing WAEC, what kind of possible question can you experience here? Number one, they'll ask you, with the aid of a well-labeled diagram, explain production possibility frontier, or production possibility curve, or production possibility boundary. These are the three possible names they can give you. With a well-labeled diagram, explain production possibility curve. What do you need to do? Give us the definition of production possibility curve. That is, it is a combination of two or more products which a country is able to produce with available resources. Write it down. If you don't understand this, play it again. Now, how do you explain that definition with the head of the diagram? This is a diagram here. Nobody will fight you. You may decide to just do it like this and put it like this. Nobody will fight you. Put point A, point B, point C. Point B there means that resources is what? Fully utilized. Point A here means that resources is what? Not visible. Point C, God gave me. Point C here shows that it is what? Underutilized. Those points are clear. Now, the last point you need to give to key your answer is that the downward slope of production possibility curve. The downward slope of production possibility curve shows that there is opportunity cost. What I call it? Opportunity cost. Shows that there is what? Opportunity cost. That is, you forgo something for the sake of another. You let go of some things for the sake of another. You have 100,000 and you decide to spend 80,000 naira. It means you have forgo 20,000 naira for bills. You spend 60,000 naira, alright. It means you forgo 40,000 naira for meal. So, for the fact that you are sacrificing some fixed amount for the other product, it means you are forgoing something, and that is opportunity cost or alternative for God. So that is the answer you can give in WAEC or JAM. Another possible question that you'll be finding in objectives for JAM and WAEC, to just tell you point A indicates what? One for your option and pick your answer. Not visible, not attainable. Point B represents what? It means that resources is fully utilized. Point C represents what? It means that resources is what? Underutilized. Then the slope, the downward slope, shows that there is what? Opportunity cost. Then they may now ask you another additional question. Why is resources not visible? Why is resources not visible? Simply put, resources is not visible because 1, there might not be enough capital. 2, we might not have enough equipment to produce what we want to produce. So when you don't have enough equipment, you don't have enough capital, then you cannot produce what you have to produce. Okay, you are producing kuli, for example, and you have only 1 bucket that you use in producing kuli. Can you use that bucket in the day to produce kuli that the whole nation will eat? No. And we have 500,000 people demand for kuli. How do you produce it? 1 bucket of 1 paint bucket? You cannot. So you won't be able to meet up with that target. Why can't you meet up? Because you don't have that resources. It means it is not visible. So this is the summary of what you need to know with reference to production possibility curve. Thank you. We'll meet in another day.